A little over a year ago, or it may have been 2 years, I did a video of a Lawnboy lawnmower rear drive system, and the model number of that mower was 10605. And someone wrote on the forum, asked how you replace the belt and cable on that lawnmower. Well, I don't have that mower anymore, but I do have this one. This is also a Lawnboy. It's also a rear drive system, and the model number is 10734. I think it's identical. The rear drive system is identical to the 10605. But if it's not, it should be real close. So I think if you watch me replace the belt and cable on this one, it should answer your questions that you asked on the forum. The cable and belt were fine on this one, but I took them out just so I can show you how to reinstall them. Here's the cable, here's the belt. This one has an electric start, but I removed the battery here just so I can show you better how the cable is routed. And before you start, make sure you remove the spark plug boot for safety reasons, because we're going to have to tip this over and work underneath the mower where the blade's at. So this is the mower tipped over, and if you look at on top of the rear drive system, or rear drive transmission, there's a pulley right there where the belt attaches to drive the transmission, and then the belt extends out into this area and attaches to the pulley on the blade driver, which is right here. I removed a black plastic shroud which covers the belt. I assume you already know how to take this off. It's only held on by 3 bolts. So the first thing you need to do is to remove the blade and that blade driver, and then we need to drop this transmission and axle and wheels and everything out of this area, which is real easy to do. You just remove these 2 bolts here and 2 bolts right there. So let's get started. So to remove the blade, just remove this bolt here. It's 16 millimeters. Set that aside. And then this just should pull right off. Next, I need to remove these 4 bolts I showed you earlier to drop this whole axle and transmission and wheels off of the mower. The only thing, make sure that this height adjustment thing doesn't catch. Just unlatch it so that you can pull the whole assembly away from the mower. Also, I forgot to mention, if you're watching this video and you're just replacing the belt, this cable for the drive system, the spring connects to this lever right here. You need to disconnect that before you can pull this whole assembly away from the mower. Now this whole thing just pulls out. Now here's that whole assembly off of the mower, and the reason we had to take it off is because this shroud here that covers the pulley prevents you from attaching a belt to the pulley, so you got to remove this shroud. There's just 3 bolts right here. And then with the 3 bolts or screws removed, you can take the shroud off, take your belt, position it on the pulley, and then put the shroud back on, and then reattach the 3 screws and tighten it down. Then to give you a better view, you can see how the belt looks here with the shroud reattached. Now we're ready to fit that whole assembly back on. This top wheel with the height adjuster, this bushing or spacer here keeps dropping down. This needs to be pushed back up before it will slide into place. And then just make sure that your height adjustment isn't preventing you from sliding the whole assembly into place. And so we're ready to put this back on. So first thing is to route this belt here through the slot in the body of the lawnmower. push it into place. And that's it. We're ready to put the bolts back in, and that holds that whole assembly in place. So I put these 4 bolts back in. These just screw into soft plastic, so when you tighten these down, make sure that you do not over tighten them, and then you can see what this looks like with the belt in place, and goes over here, and here's the top 2 bolts. And next step is to reinstall the blade and the blade driver or the crankshaft pulley. So now take your blade driver or crankshaft pulley. Inside of here there's a spacer, and it's hard to get out, and sometimes it falls out of place when you're putting this on. So you need to make sure that that is flat against the end of this crankshaft before you tighten down the blade bolt. But put this on first put the belt around the pulley, find the slot, and the spacer did fall out of place. Should probably use some grease to hold in place, but repeat. Try again. There you go. Now that's in place, and you can reattach your blade and tighten it down. And then the next step is to reattach this black plastic shroud. You don't have to do it now, you can wait and do it later if you want. That goes right there. And there's 2 bolts here, and then there's a bolt on the other side. Alright, so the next step is to route this cable, and I guess the easiest way is to show you what goes where. This spring fits into the hole on this lever, and then this part of the cable clips into that piece right here, this hole here where the screwdriver is fit through, but it clips in from the other side. So I think the easiest way to route this is from the bottom. And so also I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. You can see that opening on the side back here, like right there. That's where the cable fits through. So take the end of the cable that fits into your handlebar control lever and fit that through there like that. Slide it all the way in there. And then this piece you want to slide it in so that this piece is on the other side of that piece I showed you. And you can fit this spring on. Like that. Alright, so hopefully you can see this. I've got the mower tipped over right side up and trying to deal with this light. There's that piece I was pointing to earlier. Here's the cable. Here's that piece that clips, part of the cable that clips into this metal piece. And you just want to clip it in there. like that. So here's one more shot of the underside of this thing. Got the spring attached to this lever, and when you pull on the engagement bar on the handlebars, it pulls this whole transmission axle assembly, it twists it, and that puts, if you can see the belt back there, that puts tension in the belt, and that's what routes the power from the engine to the rear wheels. So anyway, I hope that answered your question or questions, and thanks for watching.